So you don't feel like yourself anymore, and you've probably never said it out loud quite like that because maybe it sounds dramatic or you're not a dramatic person, and somewhere along the way, quietly, you stopped feeling like you. And maybe you can't point to that day that it happened. There wasn't like one single moment. It was like this slow phased. It's like you used to have energy, not like superhuman, but like just enough to get through the day and still have something left for yourself at the end of the day. You used to be sharp. You used to sleep. You used to look at yourself in the mirror and recognize the person that was looking back. You used to want things like plans, people, a little bit of like the future that you were excited about. And now you get through the day. You hold it all together because that's what you do. Because, you know, people are counting on you. But inside, there's this quiet, constant sense that the real you is like somewhere just out of reach. And you don't know how to get her back. If that landed somewhere in your chest, stay with me because I'm going to tell you what almost nobody checked. And I promise you by the end of this, it's going to make a lot more sense than it does right now. So be sure as you're watching this, subscribe to our channel so you get each update that we have. And of course, leave a comment and like our videos. Okay, so first thing I most need you to hear, you're not imagining this stuff. And I say that because I know what you've been told. I know that you've been told that you're fine, that you've had the blood work, you sat across from the doctor, you looked at the numbers and they said, listen, everything looks completely normal. Maybe you need to get a little bit more sleep. Maybe it's stress. Maybe it's your age. Maybe your cholesterol is a little high, but everything's okay. And you walk out of that doctor's office more alone than when you walked in because you know your own body and normal is not how you're feeling. So you start to wonder if it was you, if maybe you were just being dramatic, if maybe this is just what happens and maybe everybody feels this way and you should be grateful, right? And quit complaining. All the things start going through your head. Now, let me take this off your shoulders for a second. What you are feeling is real. It has a reason. And the reason is not that you're weak. It's not that you're lazy. It's not that you're ungrateful. It's certainly not that you're aging and getting old. Okay. The women I sit with who feel exactly like this, they are some of the strongest, most capable, most giving people, okay, that you will ever meet. And this doesn't happen to women who do too little. It kind of happens to women who do too much, okay? So where you are right now, first of all, you're in the right place. So take a breath. I want you to take a look at this. Let's start with the thing that maybe confuses the most. How can everything on that blood test look normal when you feel like this? And here's the piece nobody explained, because the blood work your doctor ran, it was built actually to catch disease. Okay. It's looking for the thing that's broken badly enough to give it a name, to give it a label. So a number that's so far out of range can actually give a diagnosis. That's what they want. They want to earn a diagnosis. And that's really what conventional medicine is genuinely excellent at. And thank goodness for it, right? Because it has a place, it has a value, and it certainly is something that we need. But if something is truly broken, right? If something is truly not functioning the way that it should in your body, you want to catch it for sure. And you want to catch it before it heads all the way down the pathway where now it's been malfunctioning for a while. But there's like this enormous stretch of road between sick enough to diagnose and thriving. Okay. And it's enormous. In most of the women that I meet, they're living like somewhere in the middle of that road, in the place where every test comes back technically fine and nothing in your life actually feels fine. In your labs, they were answering one question. The labs were answering the question, is she diseased? And you were asking a completely different question, weren't you? You were saying, why don't I feel like myself? And those aren't the same questions. They're two completely different questions. And nobody told you, you know, they were looking to fit one in while you were looking inside for the other answer, right? So there's a complete mismatch in what was happening. So when I say here's what nobody checked, this is the beginning of it. Nobody checked the space between sick and well, right? And thriving, because the tools that they were using usually can't see it, but your body can. And your body has been trying to tell you something for a very long time. And it's really good at telling you something. We're just not always great at listening to it, especially when we are over busy doing so many things. So let me tell you what your body has actually been doing. And I want you to notice as I say this, that everything it's doing is for you. Everything your body does is for you. It's not against you. Your body has been on your side the entire time. Okay. Your body has one job that outranks every other job, and that is to keep you alive. And to do that job, it always quietly runs one calculation in the background. Okay. And that background is, are we safe right now? Or do we need to be ready? Right? Is there something coming up that we need to brace ourselves for? And when your body decides that it needs to be ready, it needs to be on alert, it shifts into a protective state, a survival state. Okay. What we call a survival debt. Now, ready for what, right? Ready for what you're saying? You're not running from anything specific, right? And it's actually exactly the thing. It's the exact problem. Your body doesn't only brace for a bear that's chasing you in the woods. It braces for pressure that doesn't let up, for being the one who holds everything together. And, for years and years and years, you're like pushing through poor sleep, carrying the mental load of an entire family or a team in the back of your mind so that nothing gets dropped. And your body, it cannot tell the difference between I'm in danger and I've carried too much for too long with no rest. And it reads them the exact same way. Stay ready. Stay ready. Okay. And here's the part that explains everything that you've been feeling. You see, when your body is staying ready, when it's on alert, it makes a decision about where to spend its energy. So it pours everything into getting you through the next hour, and then it quietly turns down everything that it considers to be non-essential. Okay. Because it's operating like there's an emergency. So deep sleep, steady energy, clear thinking, a calm mood, a body that feels like home. Those things are not emergencies to a system that thinks that it's under a threat. So it dims those things, not to punish you. It's not what it's doing. It's doing it to protect you, to keep the lights on where it thinks that they matter most. And that dimming, that low, all over sense that everything good got quieter, that is what I don't feel like myself actually is. It's not in your head. It's in your body, doing exactly what your body was built to do for longer than it was ever meant to do. So I do this work through something I call the body-led method, right? That's something that I've created. And the whole idea in 3 words, body-led method, the whole idea, okay, is that your body is leading. And it's been leading the entire time. every method that you've been trying to silence or push through, it's not a malfunction of your body. It's actually your body sending you a message. And it's your body telling you in its only language that it has that it's been in this protective state for too long and it needs something to change. And you see, most of us were taught to do the opposite. We were taught to override the body, to push through the tire, to ignore the signal, to treat the symptom like an enemy to defeat. And the body-led way really is to stop fighting her and start listening. Because a body that feels heard is a body that can finally come down out of that survival and actually start giving you back the parts of yourself that it had to like put on the shelf because it couldn't deal with it at that time. Now, let me tell you about honesty. Where does it go if nothing changes? What happens to your body? Because I think part of you might already feel that it's coming, right? The fade continues, the gap between who you are and who you feel like, that begins to widen. And, the danger isn't just that you stay tired. The real danger is actually quieter and sadder than that. It's that you start to believe that this dimmed version of yourself is just who you are now. You stop expecting to feel good. You shrink your life to fit the amount of energy that you actually have left. So you stop saying yes to things. You start going out. You stop making plans. You stop taking on extra hobbies. You stop trying new things, and you let the version of you that had wants and plans and spark, you let that part of you just fade all the way out. And then we call that, oh, we're getting older. It's maturity. I'm being realistic. It's my age, all those things. And I have watched so many women wait and wait until their body is finally forced that it gives them an issue right in their pathway that they can't ignore. And I don't want that for anybody, because it doesn't have to go that way, right? If your body's throwing kind of pebbles at you to say, hey, I need your attention, I need your attention, eventually, if you don't pay attention, it's going to smack you with the boulder. And that becomes an issue. So here's the other road, though. And it's the reason that I do this work. When your body finally gets the signal that it's safe, that the emergency is over, then it can stop bracing. It doesn't just get a little less tired. It actually starts handing you back everything that it put on the shelf. So the energy comes back first, usually. Then the sleep comes back. And then almost as a surprise, then you come back, right? The wanting, the lightness, the version of you that had room for more than just getting through the day. It's like she was never gone. And I really need you to hear that. You didn't lose yourself. Your body kind of put her away somewhere safe because there wasn't capacity to keep her out front. And the moment that there is capacity again, she comes back. I've watched it happen more times than I can count. And it's a beautiful thing. And it's one of those times in life when I watch that happen for a woman that I'm like, the body is amazing. God is good, right? So you're not a lost cause. Got to tell you that. You're not too far gone. You are a woman whose body has been protecting her faithfully, right, for a very long time, and who is finally about to give it a reason to stand down, to give your body a reason to relax. So here is where to start. I've made it deliberately small because I know exactly how little you have left over at the end of your day or even during the course of your day. I get it. So I put together a free 21-day nervous system calibration. It's 3 weeks long. I send you 2 small texts a day, tiny, doable resets that begin telling your body it's safe to come down, right? It's safe. We don't have to be in that high state anymore. And that's it. It's not a program to conquer. It's not one more thing to fail out. It's the smallest possible first step. And honestly, it's designed for the woman who is running on empty because, I mean, that's who it's for. It's free and it's linked below this video. You can find it at go.thisisdrz.com/nervous system. You'll find the link there. And hey, make sure that you have subscribed to this channel and give us a thumbs up on the video. And that way, the next time we release a video, you'll be the first to know and you won't miss a thing here. So, if while I was talking to you, you thought of a specific woman, a friend or a sister, or the person who was quietly thinking about like the whole time I was talking, send her this. She's probably been feeling exactly the same way. And maybe she's just been quiet about it, just as most people are. So let her know that she's not alone, and I'll see you next time. This is Dr. Z.